everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to do some coloring in this beautiful book. It is Nightfall by Maria Trolle. I just received this book not too long ago and I've just now started to color in it, and I've started to color in it with my Black Widows, and I just was using it just to come up with some different color combinations, and I thought why not go ahead and film it so that I could share all of these Black Widow color combinations with everyone else, since so many of you love the Black Widow pencils. If you enjoy videos like this and you would like to see more, please do subscribe to my channel and also turn on your bell notifications, and please make sure you do give this video a thumbs up. I will have more videos like this one coming using the Black Widows in this Nightfall book, because I've started two different pages and there's two different things that I would like to share with you. So let's go ahead and get into this video. This is the page that I started coloring the other day, and I went on Facebook and I asked everybody in my Facebook group, and I think also the Black Widow colorist group, if they would like to see a video on color combinations featuring this page, and so many of you said yes. So here we are making this video. Now I do want you to know that this is a sunflower in this picture, but I am not trying to create any type of realism in this video. I'm just trying to make it more fantasy-like and just come up with beautiful color combinations. And when I came up with this one, I was just really feeling the blues, and so I wanted to come up with some blue combinations, and I wanted to go ahead and mix it with a contrasting color to where it would really make each one of these leaves pop with some highlight. So that's what I've done here. And then in this one, I started just trying to get kind of a different effect on this one, as if it was kind of laying forward and it had more highlights in it. I'm not done with this leaf yet. I'll see where that goes, but let me show you the colors that I'm working with from the Black Widow set. I have Sky. I just really wanted to use this color because I don't know if you've watched my previous videos, but many of you know that this is my absolute favorite color in the new Monarch set. So I wanted to be able to use it more. So I've got Sky. I have Storm Blue, which is also from the Monarch set. I have Blue Heaven, which is from the Scorpion set. I don't know if you can see that. And then I've got Gold, which is from the Cobra set. And then this one, Zephyr Blue, is from the original Black Widow set. So I have 5 colors here, and we're going to use all of these colors, and we're going to continue coloring these petals on the flower. And then I think that we will also maybe do her dress in this video, and I'm going to try to grab the color wheel and see what we can do as far as making the colors really contrast and pop off of one another. So let's go ahead and get started coloring the leaves. The first thing that I did was, I think I might come down here and start down here where next to this one, because I'm trying to figure out exactly how I want this one to look. But I think that this one is going to have more of the gold in it. So I'm going to color in here with the gold. And then I am going to come in with my Sky and add a little bit of that and kind of just blend it in with the gold. And of course, as always, I'm going to want to make this leaf look as though it is sitting behind, or petal, I'm sorry, as though it is sitting behind the other one. And then we are going to add a little bit of the Blue Heaven. And I'm trying to stay out of the center because, like I said, I want to keep that with a lot of gold. And then we're going to come in with the, let me see which is my, okay, so the Zephyr Blue is the absolute darkest. So let's try the Storm Blue in here. And I'm going to come in here. Now, most of you know that the Black Widows are pretty pigmented, especially these darker colors. So when I come in here with this one, I'm using a very light touch. If you have this book and you want to follow along with me, please feel free to do so, and feel free to pause the video where you need to and then play it back again so that you could catch up or follow along or what have you. But I color pretty slow, so I'm sure that you could keep up. So I may not use the Zephyr Blue on that one, or maybe I will, up here just in the very corner where it should be much darker. And to help me create that effect that it's setting behind. Now I'm going to come back and I will pull this out because you don't ever want any harsh lines on your coloring pages. So now I'm going to come back in with my sky and I'm going to try to just kind of blend this out here so that it doesn't look harsh, and I'm trying to pull it into the gold. But look how nicely these pencils blend. I am absolutely in love with these pencils. But I would love to hear from you guys in the comments. So if you got the Monarchs, I would love for you to tell me in the comments which color in the new Monarch set is your favorite. You all know that this color, the sky, is my favorite color. But please do leave me comments. I always try to respond to every single one of them. So I think I like that. And I'm going to come in with the Storm Blue, and I think I'm just going to line this line here, just like I did over here on this side. But then I'm going to have to come back with the Blue Heaven and maybe pull it out just a little so it doesn't look harsh. I love these colors together. Y'all have to let me know too in the comments what other ideas you have for Black Widow videos. I absolutely love doing these videos for y'all. They seem to be pretty popular on my channel, so if there is anything that y'all would like to see, I will tell you my next video I do after this one. I would like to do something on creating color combinations with realism. And I've already started some of the research for that video. And so that one will definitely be coming, so look forward to that. I think it will be really interesting. If you have this book, you know that there is a list. I'm coming back in with my gold to pull all this through. But if you have this book, you know that there's a list in the back of the book that tells you on each page what flower is on each page. And so it's very easy to go look the flowers up, which I love, and know like what colors and stuff you're using or what colors the flowers should be. So if you're into realism and you want your flowers to have a more real effect, then the list in the back of this book is absolutely wonderful. I think I have probably blended that one in enough. I think I can work on this petal a little bit more, a little bit later, because I think that I just didn't have enough pigment down on the paper. I think once I start coloring in the flowers around it, that it will stand out even more. Where's my gold? I love this gold color. It's so pretty. And I really love the gold mixed in with the blues. But I'm just blending all of these out, and most of you can tell I'm pretty meticulous about what I'm doing all of the time. I think that's turning out really pretty. Now I'm gonna do something that usually, most of you that have seen my videos, you know that I usually bring in my white Prismacolor. But I think that I am going to put the white, the snow, which is from the skin set, or one of the skin sets, I think probably the light skin set. I am going to put, yeah, SL means skin light. So I am going to put this pencil to the test, and I am going to see if it works just like a white Prismacolor. And so let me just come in here where I want it highlighted a little bit more. And let's see how well this works. Oh, it is spreading the wax around. Look at that. Oh my goodness, look how well this is working. Now, why didn't I do this before? This is really blending the colors out. Let me go ahead and do it over here, especially here in the center here where I have it a lot lighter and didn't put a lot of the gold down. And then let's pull the colors through over here. Oh, I love it. I'm keeping that pencil in my combinations. So now I have 6 pencils, and you guys will see me probably pull out other pencils as we go along. Now I think that I've colored in these 2 leaves, showing you, or the one leaf, and kind of tried to fix this other one and try to get it to look the way that I wanted it to look. I'll probably work on it a little bit more later. I want you guys to know that when you start laying colors down and you really don't know like what you're trying to do, I just really wanted this one to look, because it's kind of laying downward like this, and I'm imagining, I don't know, I think this is supposed to be like a night sky because there's a lot of stars and everything up here, but I would imagine that there's still kind of a reflection on the leaves that are laying downward. So I just kind of wanted more of the gold to kind of stand out on these flowers, and I'll probably do the same thing as I come around here and do the ones that are to the bottom. And then these up here will be a little bit darker, and these over here, and like this one here will be one of the darkest ones because it's kind of laying behind her. I did a lot less highlights in this one too, just because it's kind of laying behind her and it's kind of behind her shoulder. So let's see if we could go ahead and come up with another color combination together this time on camera. And we are going to work on her dress. And I really just want her dress to stand out. And I'm kind of thinking a little bit ahead right now, but possibly maybe gold in her hair as well, because when this is done, I just kind of want it to go pow and just kind of really lift off the page. And that's why, and the reason that I'm using the gold and trying to keep a lot of highlighted areas. I want to carry that through on the whole entire picture. I brought out the color wheel here, and what we are going to do is we're going to kind of match up, and we can see that we're kind of, let me turn this a little bit. But we are kind of in this area here with the petals, and I don't think that I want to go directly across, so I don't want to go too contrasting, but I think that I'm going to go close to contrasting, but not directly. So the contrasting colors would be directly across from one another, and those two colors would have nothing in common with one another, but when you put them together, they create a very vivid, like, just pow on your page. And that's why when I've got these two colors together that are kind of almost, I guess, I don't know, where's our goldy color that we've got in here? Kind of in here, and then we're over here. So they're kind of going like this, so they're kind of across, but not completely across. If I was going completely across, I would be in the oranges and reds, and I don't want to do that. But if you look at our kind of blue-greens that we have here, and then you go across over here in this range where that's what I would consider the gold, we're kind of going like this. So that's why it kind of really just pops, and it provides you with this contrast, which really makes those highlights stand out. So when we go to do the dress, I am going to try to do the same thing. So I'm going to use this color, which is where our range kind of falls, kind of in the blue-green. And I'm not going to go all the way across, but I'm going to kind of do this again. And so I'm going to go to like the red violets and try to bring some of those colors into her dress so that they are contrasting and her dress just kind of really stands out. So we are going to try to come up with a color combination together for her dress. And if we look at the color wheel, we could do our brown bug, which is a color I love, and we could use that for our shadowing. We could also use the burgundy if we wanted to, but then of course we have to have a highlight color and then a shading color. So we need to pick at least 3 colors. What is going to go with that? So I'm going to need a mid-tone color, which I'm going to use for my shading. And so if this is my darkest, then I kind of want to go maybe in this direction. And I'm thinking, I don't know, I could also go in this direction and go more purple. I'm thinking that maybe with our brown bug, we could put, maybe we'll try purple. So the pastel purple maybe, so we start here and we move down this direction. This kind of has purple and pink in it, so it keeps us in the range that we're trying to stay. So if we're gonna go with this pastel purple and the brown bug, I think those will look really nice together. When you're choosing your colors, you need to make sure there's enough of a variation between the two, between light and dark and the color variation, to really make one color stand out beyond the other one. And then, so we would need to go even lighter than this one. And I'm thinking maybe if we go right next to it, that may look nice. Or possibly even the light pink has a much brighter contrast. This one is more dull, if you could see that on camera, and then this one's much brighter. We could even probably add an ice cream, but that might have too much orange in it. So I'm just kind of trying to think out loud so you could kind of understand exactly how I choose my colors. So I'm gonna go ahead and swatch some colors down on a paper off camera just to save the length of the video, and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to show you exactly what I did and why I chose those colors. Okay, so I'm back and I did a little bit of swatching off a camera, and then once I decided exactly what colors, I actually went with the exact colors, and I've got more than 3, and I actually went with the exact ones that I had suggested, because after doing this for so long, I've got a pretty good eye for what is going to go together and what is going to make a good color combination. And I have really done a great job of getting to know the Prismacolors, and I'm working on doing the same thing with the Black Widows. So I could kind of look at the colors and just really tell immediately what I'm gonna do. And if you can see, these are all the colors I had originally suggested. And you could see the color variance between this brown bug and the pastel purple. I think those are going to look really pretty together. And I didn't want to just choose three. I wanted to choose three. Sometimes I go beyond three, and I'll do 4 or 5, sometimes even 6 on one thing. Like I think I had like 6 colors here in these petals, but this is the color variance or color combination that I'm gonna go with. And this little pad, I picked it up at the store, and I plan on using it for color combos. So I'm gonna start putting all my color combos in here for my Black Widows. I'm going to use it strictly for my Black Widows. And so I've got a whole list of color combinations, and I could just go right to this to access something I'd like to use and maybe swap out 1 or 2 colors if I choose to do so. So I ended up going with the blush and the light cream because I put them both next to one another, and I figured this would be a more muted, like pretty muted color, but this will really help to bring out the light pink will really help to bring out the blush, because it is much more vibrant and it's a better highlight color. So we're going to start with these. I'm going to set that over there. And I've already sharpened all of my pencils. So I've got nice sharp leads. I did all of that with my favorite pencil sharpener, my Doll 133. If you need to find that pencil sharpener, I will have that link down in the description below. I also did a review video on it, and so many of you have bought that pencil sharpener just because of my review video, and love that pencil sharpener. You guys come in the Facebook group all the time and you tell me how wonderful it is. It is an amazing pencil sharpener. So if you don't have one of those, it works beautifully on any pencil. It's the one pencil sharpener that I don't have to say, okay, well, don't use it on this one, but it's okay to use on this one. It works fantastic on everything. So we are going to start here with the brown bug, and we're going to come in where it would be more shaded. Right here where her hair is, I would need my darkest color. And down here. And we're just going to start laying down this color and see what we can come up with. The paper in this book is fabulous. So as you can see, I'm laying my darkest color, which is my shadowing color, anywhere where there would be a shadow. I'm going to go through and I'm going to just lay this brown bug everywhere where I feel like there should be a shadow, and I am going to speed that up to music right now. Now I'm going to come in with my pastel purple, and I'm going to kind of blend in some of the brown bug that I laid down. And we are going to do that to music right now. Got the first layer of both of those colors laid down, the brown bug and the pastel purple. So now we're going to come in with the blush and we're going to kind of pull some of that out a little bit more. Notice how I am staying out of the centers of every part where I feel like is not close to something laying over the top of it or being shadowed by something, if you can see how I did this. But I'm kind of just, in this case, following the quote-unquote rules of how you would naturally do it if you're picturing the light just kind of coming down onto the picture. But in this case, like I said earlier, it seems like it's kind of a night scene of her sitting on this, what would be a sunflower. That this is most likely a night theme, just assuming by the stars in the sky. I am assuming that there wouldn't be as much light aside from just like maybe a moon or whatever coming down and shining onto the girl. So we are going to come in with the blush now, and we are going to continue pulling this through, and we're going to do that to music. So we've pulled all those through, and now we're going to come back in with our light pink, which I would consider my highlight color. If you look at the swatch, you can see how it's very pale, but it's also brighter than the blush. So I think that it is going to pull everything together very nicely. And so we are just going to do it in the areas where I want to just kind of add some light to her dress. And if you notice, if you look over here, I am going to try to come back with a little bit of the darker colors and put the light in less places because I'm assuming that the light is coming from this direction. So let's go ahead and do that now, and we will start the music here. I always decide that it is not popping enough off the page. So I am now bringing in 2 more colors, and I'm going to try to do a little bit of highlighting with these 2. I'm bringing in the cream, and I will show you if I put the light pink right up next to it. It is a little bit lighter and maybe a little bit brighter. So I'm going to see what I could do with that, and if that one doesn't work, I'm going to add the snow. So let's go ahead and do that now. Come back with the brown bug, and we are just going to add some more shading in here, and by doing this it's just going to make the lighter colors pop even more because we're adding more of our darker color, creating more of a variance. So we are just gonna come up in here and do this in all the places where I feel like it should be darker. coming back with the pastel purple, and we're going to pull that through. Now we're going to continue our blending process, and we are going to add some blush. So now I'm going to come back and add a little bit more of the ice cream just for highlights, and then I'm going to come in right after that and I'm going to go back and add a little bit more of the snow. And all this is about is just continuing to keep adding layers, but not going over the areas that you want to remain the highlight areas, and you want them to really be bright and kind of stand out so that they actually look like the light is hitting those areas. And I was very specific to make sure I did most of that over here on the other side, imagining that the light would just be coming from this direction over the actual picture or the girl. So let's go ahead and come in here, and we're just going to add some ice cream and see what we can do with this, and then we're going to follow it up with the white, and we're going to do that now. So for those of you that have made it this far into the video and you want to see me just go through and do my touch-ups, I'm going to go ahead and do that now. I am going to just add some more color to create more color variances within her dress so that the highlights really stand out even more. And I'm just coming in with my brown bug, and I am going to add more shadowing in the places that I feel are going to need it. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. So here is how her dress turned out. I really do love it. So let's go over those the color combination for the dress one last time before we end the video. So we started with, I have them so out of order. Okay, so we started with our brown bug, And then our next color was the pastel purple. And then we had the blush. And then next in line was the light pink. And then if you remember, we went and added in ice cream to create more highlights. And then I went over it with the snow, which has turned out to work really well as a burnishing color. As you can see, I went back and I went over it with the white in all the areas that I wanted lighter. And I also blended some of the wax of the pencils together to create a more burnished effect. So this is what we've come up with, and I will continue this video and we will come up with some more color combinations. I'll probably finish the flower off camera unless enough of you request that I do the whole thing on camera. Then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to come up with a color combination for the leaves, and we will go ahead and do the stem. And this is a pretty easy page. Oh, and we have to do the hair as well. So that one will be really fun. I see kind of golds and browns in her hair, but we'll see what we come up with for that. But I hope you enjoyed this video and you got a couple color combinations out of it that you're able to use on your own. And if you do, please post your pictures that you use these color combinations in my Facebook group, because I would love to see them. If you're not already in my Facebook group, make sure to text to the description down below and you'll find a link there to join. As always, everything that you've seen in this video, including the Black Widow pencils or this coloring book, we are coloring out of Nightfall by Maria Trolle, if you didn't catch that. And my little swatching notepad here that is actually perfect for swatching. I will have everything that you've seen used in this video, my Doll 133 pencil sharpener. Everything will be linked down below in the description if you would like to pick up some of those things for yourself. They are all wonderful and I love them all, so I know that you guys will too. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Please do subscribe, turn on your bell notifications, and make sure you give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it and you'd like to see more. I hope you all have a fantastic day. Happy coloring. Bye.